Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Patches Rants. This one is going to be about something very special. Posers. Nowadays in metal it seems like it's very important to everyone to either not be posers or to be true metal. And I have some things to say about it. I know that the whole poser thing started back in 1980 something, early in the 80s, when metal started losing its definition of being manly and being powerful and being, what metal should be. And when I say what it should be, I mean what it was intended for at the beginning. But as it goes with all things, nothing becomes what it was intended for. Everything always changes or, loses some aspects, gains some aspects. So when metal started changing from this to this, naturally it pissed a whole lot of people off. But as I've already said before, changes happens. You cannot plan for something to go the way you want it, not if it's affected by the entire world. And when it doesn't go as you've planned, you cannot claim that it's no longer metal. You can say it's not thrash metal, or it's not heavy metal, or it's not power metal, or it's not original metal. But when I hear Slipknot, I'm pretty sure it's metal. It may not be how metal was intended, but it is metal. And the same goes for the entire new wave of American metal. It may not be as you've always pictured metal to be, but nonetheless, it's still metal. It's different, yeah, of course it's different, but it's metal. When you go around claiming that Lamb of God isn't metal, or Trivium isn't metal, or As I Lay Dying is not metal, the only thing you're doing is making a gigantic ass of yourself. And if you're going to claim that those bands have sold out or are trying to play commercial metal to earn more money with it or to get more attention or anything like that, I will have to shatter that dream for you. I play in one of those sellout bands myself and we're not really earning any money. To be fair, we're only spending a lot of money. Believe me, the road to metal success, it's very complicated, and it's not gonna be about how commercial you are. No, even if you play the most perfectly commercial metal there exists, it will still be damn fucking hard to get to the top. Now the only thing in this whole poser thing I can in some cases agree on is that some people who claim to be metalheads or who claim to be, diehard metal fans just sometimes really aren't. I've heard a lot of people talk about metal without really knowing what they were talking about. There was this guy from, Indonesia, I think, and I started having a small discussion with him about, I think it was Green Day not being metal, which, to be fair, was quite obvious. Green Day just is not metal. But aside from that, he mentioned Slipknot, and at some point I just said, well, I don't enjoy Slipknot. I'm more into heavy metal. Those were kind of my words. And what he said was, well, Slipknot is heavy metal. Wait. What? Yeah, Slipknot is heavy metal. So this was the point where I kind of realized that this guy was probably what most people would call a poser. Someone who just claims to know a lot about metal and someone who's going to try to outsmart you on metal while not knowing what he is talking about. And in all honesty, I used to be like that too, which was probably about 7 years ago, or maybe a bit long. Yeah, it's probably a bit longer, but there was a time when I had no idea what subgenres were. So at some point, someone showed me death metal and said, like, yeah man, I really love death metal, and he probably showed me, well, I wouldn't even be surprised if it was death itself, what he showed me, but at that point I was so young and unknowing that I wanted to give the impression that I did know something about it, and I was like, nah, this isn't really real death metal to me. Children of Bodom, that's real death metal to me, which is probably the most stupid thing you can ever say, especially when someone is showing you death itself. But it was just a time when I didn't know anything about it, and I wanted to know something about it. And in the defense of anyone who is like that, that's, well, in some way it's sort of admirable to be that young, but still wanting to be part of, the real metalheads. Because it was also a time when I was pretty, I just looked up to, everyone who was wearing a patch jacket, or everyone who was wearing obscure band shirts of bands I would never even probably get near, and which I couldn't even read the logo of. And there are a lot of people out there like that. The kids who just start listening to metal, and who probably start with Slipknot, Children of Bodom, the bands that some people claim to be posers and fake metal and stuff like that. No, fuck you. It's not fake, it's not unreal metal, it's just as much metal as any other metal. And if there is a kid around you and you show him death metal and you tell him, boy, I sure do like death metal, and he tells you, that's not real death metal, Children of Bodom, now that's real death metal, then you can do three things. Oh, you motherfucker. Fucking. Well, now, look here. I do understand why you would think such a thing. But, now, what does option 1 give us? Nothing. Yeah, it's understandable, it's quite easy, and I'm not gonna tell anyone to explain everything in detail to every child they meet. But they will be left in their ignorance. Now, the second option gives us a lawsuit, probably, and a long time spent in jail for destroying the life of a child, which is not the best option of the three. However, what I think is the best option is just, try to tell him about the history of death metal, or what the definition of death metal is. And it's not about, being all-knowing or showing him, I know better. Nah, it's not about that. It's just about, creating some sort of understanding. And of course, if he says, like, I don't give a fuck, or nah, you're wrong, this is true death metal and nothing else is, or whatever, just leave it be. It doesn't matter that much. It's just like the first intention should be, let me try to explain it, and if he doesn't want you to explain it, alright, fuck it, never mind. It doesn't affect you. And the kids claiming to know stuff about metal don't affect you either. They don't make you less metal. They don't make metal less metal. They maybe make themselves less cool or less appreciated by other metalheads. But in general, who gives a fuck? I mean, why would you even give a fuck in the first place? And I know some guys who are like that, who start rating everyone on a scale of 0 to metal. And a lot of people get pretty low on their scales because, look at that, they have a Slipknot patch, that's the worst thing you can do. Or, look at that, they're wearing a Periphery shirt or a Trivium wristband or whatever. And in the end, the only person that actually is bothered with it is themselves. You know, the kids with the Trivium wristband, or with a metalcore shirt or whatever. They don't give a fuck. Yeah, they love metalcore. Fucking A, they should. It's a pretty awesome genre. And even if I'm not that much into it, I still think it's metal. In my mind, they are still metalheads. If they were to, you know, wear a Slipknot shirt and then come up to me and say, yeah man, I'm the hugest thrash metal fan there is, look at my Slipknot shirt. That's the point where I'd be like, meh? But anything else, who gives a fuck? And even if they claim things like that, then still, you know, why would you care so fucking much? It doesn't matter. Now, this definitely isn't the last thing I'm going to say about the entire poser subject, because it's something that's really, well, it's sort of close to me, you know. I like to defend the posers. However, it is the last thing I'm going to say for this video. I hope everyone can leave me a comment down in the comment section below about just what you think about posers, what you think about real metal, true metal, whatever. Maybe you're gonna start a discussion with me if Children of Bodom is true death metal. I don't mind, I like to talk about basically anything related to this, so just drop me your thoughts. Now, please also check out my other rant video if you haven't already. It's about teen suicide because of death metal, and I share my opinion in it. Also, please check out the Patches metal episodes, in which I usually review 2 or 3 albums of a random metal band from all over the world, big or small. Now, I have a lot of gigs coming up with my own band, so it could be that the next video is gonna take about a week or 1.5, but I'm going to try to make it sooner. Now, if you want to stay updated on all the info and news regarding the Patches metal videos, please go to my Facebook. I will put a link in the description down below. Now, I will see you all next time again.